Hello, Burlington Public School teachers. This is Michelle Artizzoni, Digital Learning Coach for Burlington, and I am happy to be presenting to you this brief tutorial about setting up your Seesaw class for the initial beginning of the school year in September. I'm going to briefly highlight some of the areas to double check and settings to turn on once beginning to have student posts placed in the journal. I'm going to begin on my MacBook by clicking on BPS Bookmarks, Class Link, then Seesaw. I will sign in using my Google account. And you will see your classes default in for you. Your classes are based on your Aspen class list. I do have an example class set up here that I will be using as the teacher, Mrs. Artizzoni, for this example. Up under the wrench is where you can find the settings for each of your Seesaw classes that you will need to review. Under the wrench, the first place to stop is to invite your families. Tap on the plus sign and you will see any pre-connected families, possibly because of already having siblings in the district. You can see that they would say connected, but there may be some that are brand new to the district and are not connected, such as this example here, PR Training 2. What you can do to invite that family, you can either add a email or mobile phone number, which you would find in Aspen. You can share an invite link, seen here. You could copy the link and share it with them, or you could also click here to print an invite for the class or a particular family. You do have a choice of which language that invitation will be printed in, and then you would send it to the printer. So once again, the first step, make sure families are connected to the journal. Your class name is up for editing. If you want to make it something more unique with your name or classroom number, feel free to do so. If you need a co-teacher added, in addition to yourself as the Aspen teacher, put in their email address right here and click invite, and then that Burlington teacher can be added to this journal. Remember, you would do this step for every class if you needed to add a co-teacher for every Seesaw journal. Moving along for class theme and icon, this is subjective that you can go through and edit the color of the background to the banner of your class as well as the class icon. These two features are really important for our youngest students for finding their correct journal when they're just learning how to read their class titles. Jumping to the students section, and again, I'm just highlighting some key settings to go through and select at the beginning of the year. I'm going to jump to student likes and comments. Please consider how you want this journal to operate regarding students' abilities to like their post, which means highlighting the heart on a post, and also their ability to comment on their post. If you do turn on student comments, which is a great digital citizenship lesson in addition to likes, and as a side promotion, any of us digital learning coaches would be happy to facilitate. Once the comments are turned on, though, please make sure that new comments will require your approval with a setting right here. That way you can kind of select and pre-read anything before it goes on to that public journal space that the student, the teacher, and families would be connected to. Moving past the student likes and comments, students cannot see each other's work, but often we do want to have that collaboration and authentic audience. Please feel free to contact any of us digital learning coaches. We can help you use the Seesaw blog feature, which allows students to see each other's work. Once again, any new items to the journal should require a teacher approval. Make sure that that setting is turned on right here. Item editing, that is definitely something I recommend as a coach to turn on and have that setting right here, swipe to the right. That will allow the student to go back and edit a post that has already been approved, so that way you can go back as a teacher and say, oh, that one piece of work that was missing, I see they've added it. The student will not have to start from scratch recreating the whole entire journal post. Enable sample student. I recommend that this setting be turned on. That will allow this sample student that you see here to the right be at the top of every Seesaw journal. That allows you, a student, to use as a model when demonstrating how to put in a post, how to respond to an activity, how to write a comment, so on and so forth. That gives you your sample, your model student. Going into the family section, please be sure that you as the teacher enable family access for each and every Seesaw journal that you will be using with students. Without this setting being turned on, families cannot see their child's work. So this setting does need to be turned on to have those connected families see their child's work. You can also invite families here, just as we discussed at the top of this setting page. Family likes, comments, and sharing. Please consider your comfort level and how you want this piece of feedback and collaboration communication between families, students, and teachers. Do you want to enable families the ability to like, which is the heart post for their child's work? And then also, do you want to enable family comments right here so that a family comment could say, "Great work. I'm proud of you mastering your math facts." And then also, please have new comments require approval, a prompt that you consider. Do you want to have the families prompts that they put in their comments, their feedback, their typed responses? Do you want to approve that before it goes through? All right, moving down past that, almost wrapping up here. Enabling the blog. That is where you can allow students to see each other's work. That is something that any digital learning coach can help you set up. And last but not least, a common area at the beginning of the year that teachers might need some support on is managing folders. Folders are considered kind of a category of your student work. If you wanted the students to be prompted to have a particular folder to put their work in, such as reading, writing, um, spelling, comprehension, if you wanted to kind of divide out within this subject area class some folders or categories, you have the ability here. All right, so that is just an example. To create a folder, here's a reading one, and you can create multiple for one class. Again, those are optional, but sometimes a common question at the beginning of the year. So once again, those are a few class settings that I recommend you reviewing before opening up access to families. Thank you so much, teachers, and feel free to reach out to any of us on the Digital Learning Coaches team to help with any questions or comments you may have. Thank you.